For Global Book Network, I'm Zach Feldman. Thanks so much for tuning in here on globalbooknetwork.tv and on our YouTube channel at Global Book Network. Joining us over the phone is an author. She has a new book out called The Daughter of the Golan Heights. It is Madiha Katao. Madiha, thanks so much for being here on Global Book Network. How you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you. Peace be with you. Peace be with
Yes,
everyone who's hearing us. How are
of
you?
course. Yes. Tell me all about this new memoir.
Oh my God, this is, I am the daughter of the Golan Heights. I was born and raised in Golan Heights, so who else? I don't know if you like the title of this book. It's my first book ever to write, especially in English.
Yes.
Arabic, we write a lot. I speak Arabic and Circassian. My ancestral language is Circassian. Probably you never heard of it. We are very small minority people who rooted in the Caucasus Mountain in Russia.
Yeah.
Then my ancestor, my grandparents moved. They were forced to move out of their land and reside in the Golan Heights, part of southern of Syria, for 120 years. Probably my parents born there. I was born there, and we lived beautifully in this echo of the mountain. Preserving our culture, dignity as a Circassian. We preserve the language, the dance, the culture, the food, the folklore, till finally 1967, you know, we were exiled out of that land because of the
Mhm.
conflict between Syria, Israel, Egypt, Jordan, and if you remember the history, probably before you born.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
So,
it's a crazy conflict that's happening there. I mean, obviously, it's glad you're safe and you're here in the United States now.
yeah.
But how was it? Kind of migrating to the United States. What was that like?
Yes. So after we came to Syria, and my parents has 10 kids, so I have nine siblings. I'm gonna say one at a time died. Three people died, and we were seven siblings in Syria. And it was very hard in the beginning because my parents couldn't speak the Arabic language, which is someone can say, you live in Syria, how come you don't speak the language? But when they came, they didn't have schooling, they didn't have anything. Actually, my father was fluent in French because we were occupied by France. I was
Oh my
spending
gosh.
more time. So,
Yeah.
so when we came to Syria, it was Arabic language. So my father, from being a farmer to being a carpenter, and everybody in the house, we have to learn some skills, especially sewing. So we all survived. We all went to college. We did higher education. I studied civil engineering. I worked few years in the country. Then, when you start earning money, I love traveling. I love other culture. I came to the States as a tourist a couple of times.
Oh, that's
My
awesome.
third trip, I met my husband and I stayed. That was in 1986.
And it's all captured in this
Very
book too.
upsetting.
Because this is such a historic book for you because it's your life. This is literally what you went through. So looking back at it, I mean, was this challenging to write?
Absolutely, because what made me to write, it's my stories keep calling me back, and followed me. Whether a dream, you leave your childhood, then you grow up your teenager and your 20s, the best age of your life, near 30s in the city of Damascus. You make all this family, relatives, friends, co-workers. Then you come to here, you got to start all over, and nobody know who we are.
Yeah.
In your homeland, everybody point finger to you, who you are. They know your parents, they know who you are, they know your sibling. But you come here by yourself. It was a very challenging for me. But without the faith reside in my heart and keep calling me and guide me to stay focused on my identity and personality and be a good citizen, I will be lost. I will be lost. Then I have a great husband who supported me here with my children later on. So I went through many, many challenges. All my coworkers used to tell me, "You have a great story. You have to write it down." I said, "Me? I never imagined I will be a writer, but with the help of the editors, and here you go. And I want to be a public. I don't
Yeah.
want to hide my story. I want to be proud who I am. I want to tell people, listen, no matter how you feel, no matter how you face challenges, no matter what you think you go through hardship, you're a human being. You have the power. Stand up and you will find helper, right? You have helper from all over, different culture, different language, different religion, doesn't matter. We all human. We support each other to be standing strong.
Yeah, 100%. And it's important too to stand strong, and to stay and to, and to obviously remember your culture, but also, be in a safe area where you can live and prosper. I mean, that was the biggest thing for you too, when you were in your childhood, is that, you were in such a dangerous place, and trying to escape that. And it shows in this book too, about how, the struggles you went through. When you were writing this book too, I mean, was it hard to kind of remember what you went through as a child, or
It
you
was
just kind of, was it difficult to write?
never was hard because the echo, you know, the most important part of my heart, my life
Mhm.
was my childhood. It was always in my eyes, in my vision, because we went through the exile, but it was a story to tell every day. And my parents raised us not to look at the bad things happened in the past, but look to the bright future you have. Make your life the brightest so people can look at you as a guide for them, because soon you will have children, which is I do. I have 8 grandchildren. They're going to look up to their grandma, and they're going to see, look, mama survived, grandpa survived, grandma survived. And this is what we have to be as a sample for the generation who's following us, whether they're in America or over. So conflicts, America went through North and South.
Yeah.
I spent 36 years in the North, in New Jersey. New Jersey. We moved recently to the South. And sometimes, I meet the authentic Texan with their accent. I tell them, oh my God, North, South, and South meeting and making friends and eating from the same plate. We're human. We have to live that type of life, a beautiful life. Life is beautiful. The sunshine every day, doesn't matter how much war we have everywhere. And the roses blossom and give the smell, doesn't matter how many people died out there. So we have to look to that bright future, bright present every day. People like you guys will be the one who's enlightening this goodness in life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it's definitely important to look to the future and look bright, and definitely have a positive attitude on it, which you definitely do. It's also important though too to also remember the ones we lost. I mean, especially your family too. You've lost a few relatives from this genocide that's happening there, and I have to ask you too. I mean, what goes through your mind? Seeing now what's been happening. Maybe there's some type of peace happening now.
Uh,
What's going through your mind?
Absolutely. What's happening now, it's parallel. First of all, to my ancestor in the Caucasus, 95% of the Circassian in the Caucasus mountain were genocide by the Russian. The Kaisarism, then the communism came and did not give any mercy to any type of religion, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, whether you become atheist, communist, or you just be killed or run away for your life. So this, what's happening today, it's always parallel to what we went through. And then the Golan Heights was a lot easier because when we decided to leave the land, we were thinking, wow, if we don't leave the land while the war happening in 1967, we will be, God forbid, raped or genocide or killed
Yeah.
or no mercy. We don't know. We don't know because my father especially went through the 1948 war and he saw with his eyes and he saw the occupation of the French in Syria. So he didn't want anyone to stay at the area of the war. So we were exiled and pushed, ran away walking from Golan Heights all the way to Damascus. And but like I said again, don't believe that any hardship a human being can go through, you never put your head down. You always have to know how to elevate your feet. You always have to know how to stand. And
Mhm.
that faith I reside in my heart and God that who gave me the strength to face all my challenges. The challenges in USA was not even easy because when I came to this country, I didn't know much. I didn't know people. My English was not that good. Then you decide to stay here. You decide to choose a career for you. You decide to choose a husband for you. I remember we met, me and my husband, 3 months we were married. I mean, the fastest marriage ever happened probably in that time. And here we are, we're still together after 36 years, 37, going to 38 years, happily.
That's something you don't mention in your book. I mean, do you still have family who live in Syria or in that area?
In that area, Golan Heights, we didn't have any. My parents, my father and my older brother stayed there. I made that clear in the book. They stayed there for 6 months to take care of the livestock because they were farmers and to look after the village. My father was very brave. He will face anyone. He did not care. He said he's not gonna let the village be alone. Let me be the guardian. And my brother back then was 17 years old only. So, but after 6 months, he knew there is no return. Till now, 1967, there is no return. But Golan Heights, it's carrying our breath, our echo, our ancestor, my grandparents, my parents made the home, built the house. We have pictures, we have the key, and we have the deeds of the land. That's gonna help.
That's great.
Yeah, I still have sibling. Damascus, yes, I still have
Yes.
sibling.
100%. And it's a really, really inspiring book too, because it shows, how you overcame such a hardship as a child, coming over to the United States too. When you were going through the immigration process though, back in that day, what was going through your mind?
I thought, first of all, is you feel happy and joy, but at the same time, the minute you hold the flag and you take the oath, you swear you're American. In my heart, I said, I'm a Circassian Muslim American, continue Syrian. I mean, you feel like your blood is not pure American. Your blood have all the DNA of this beautiful mosaic of life. At the same time, you take the oath and you want to be a good citizen in this country. It's a joy. At the same time, I never felt I was disconnected from my ancestor or my family or my culture. Because we have the community also. We have a beautiful community, Circassian community, who wherever we go, we preserve it by getting together, helping each other financially, mentally, psychologically, and by preserving the dance, the folklore, the culture, and remembering the memorial days for all the Circassian, what they went through during life.
That's awesome. And that's really, really cool to see too. Again, the book is called The Daughter of the Golan Heights. Where can people find the book?
On Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Awesome. Where can people what's next for you, as an author?
I was thinking to continue because I'm still alive. My memoir, unlike Malcolm X, when he wrote his memoir, I think he died before the book was published. I remember I read his book. So, I want to see now, I want to write my second phase where now I am in more challenge because 7 of my grandchildren are around me. And I feel like I'm their teacher. I feel like when I go to do substitute once a while, I want to be the one who walk in with dignity and with head off. And when the students, young generation look at me, how do I carry myself? How do I introduce myself to them? Those are the other challenges because age doesn't matter. It's not a number. It's your state of mind. So I want to keep my state of mind sharp. I want to keep my memory. I want to keep preserving this beautiful life God gave it to us and talk about the good things we face, especially I don't know if it's my last stage of states to live in Texas. and
Well, you can be a Texas girl born and raised there now if you want.
I have cows and horses around me. Yes.
Get some great Texas barbecue.
Yes.
Exactly. I do want to ask you though, obviously because the current events happening in society and, and everything happening, especially what happened on October 7th, 2023, where Hamas, did the terrorist attack against Israel. I want to ask you too, you see Hamas having such an impact right now on Syria. What goes through your mind with that?
We people from Middle East, we know the history more than what the news tell us because we lived that, what you call it history, we lived it as a present. Whether Hamas, whether the Muslim fighters, whether the Palestinian, whether the Syrian, Jordanian, Egyptian, all this area, you have conflicts. Those people are the one who we call them freedom fighters. They fight for their land. Sometimes a fighter can use maybe or misuse their power. That could happen. But, when you're facing someone who's going to come and steal your land, and they will tell you 3,000 years ago, we have a promise from God that this land belonged to us, what happened with me and my ancestor was 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago. Let's go back to 2,000 years ago. The Arab, the Palestinian, the Syrian, the Golan Heights lived there. My Golan Height is empty absolutely from people. I visited 3 years ago as American passport. I went through Israel and I went to Golan Heights. The only place I saw standing in my village is the elementary school I went through. That's it. I could not even find the landmark for my bedroom, backyard, or anything, even though we have a landscape of 3 acres with 150 fruit trees, nothing there but the farm converted to a farm, and all these villages destroyed, not even the stone there, because the stone of the Golan Heights, it's a granitic black stone, taken away, did something with it, I don't know.
I'm just curious too. Are you sad though about about what Hamas has done with in terms of trying to take over that Syrian land?
I don't think Hamas start that. I don't know if you understand what's going on. Hamas is not taking over Syria at all, at all. But the Syrian also, this past 13 years, they went, I'm going to say we went through the civil or spring revolution against the dictatorship, because the leaders of Syria, which we called Al-Ba'ath Party, led Syria in the past 55, 60 years into chaos, into revels. You've seen, the suburban area of Damascus, if you look at the map, it's exactly Gaza. But it's not done by Israel, but it's done by the Syrian regime, who tried to force the people under his command. No matter how they steal the property of their own land, no matter how they divided people to fight each other, no matter how gave arm to this person and to the other neighbor, and they told them fight each other, while the other, people who's in charge in the government stealing the wealth of Syria. So Syria now, it's over. That regime is over. We have a new regime. It's welcomed by America. Recently, we have the new president, Ahmed al-Shara, came to America, was in the White House. So things now, it looks very good.
It's getting better.
It takes time.
Yeah, of course.
As Americans,
I'm just curious because because you went through a similar situation, but to see it continue to happen, like, is that something that's traumatic for you?
No, because I believe this life, this land, this earth belong to God. Conflict's gonna happen no matter how we call for peace, no matter how good people there is always evil people there. The conflict's gonna happen all the time. But at the end of the day, we believe that God will take you to the account of your actions. Did you take the good side? Did you take the bad side? And that's what you are entitled to be, the good person, the one who stopped the conflicts, the one who caused peace, the one who carried the lantern to give a landmark and milestone to the other people who's going to follow you. That's the faith, especially Islam. That's what teach me. Because God says, the earth is mine, the sun is mine. If it's yours, today the sun coming from the east, bring it from the west. So no one can control in that sun. So no one can control of the earth. Temporarily, we think we are. But God said he would inherit the land to the one he wants, to see them, how do they act? Better than the other generation, the other people, or worse? And of course, we cry, we feel sad of the conflicts, we feel death, and we feel overwhelmed. We don't like that separation. But if it's happened, we are prepared not to submit to the conflicts, not to submit to the evil, not to submit to the sad and become depressed, feel suicide. No, it becomes stronger. Because, diamond becomes stronger, because diamond become diamond because of the pressure.
Yeah. Well, listen, I hope we have peace, sooner or later in those areas too, have conflict between that just rest, and kind of make something like Make something like we have here in the United States, where it's a peaceful civilization. You know, it'd be nice.
Absolutely. Yes, we
It'd be
want that.
100% nice.
We
We
want for
want that. We all want that. And
yes.
hopefully that'll come soon. And then you can come back. You can go back there too and relive your childhood in a brighter way. Madiha, thank you so much for joining me here on Global Book Network. And best luck with the book. Again, it's called The Daughter of the Golan Heights. You can get it on Amazon and check it out anywhere books are sold. Thanks again for joining me here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Have a blessed
Anytime, anytime. You've been watching Global Book Network here on YouTube and on globalbooknetwork.tv. Check out all of our past interviews here on the website and on our YouTube, and we'll see you here next time for another author interview. I'm Zach Feldman. We'll see you here next time.